it's really a good thing. You know what? I would never have put my name on it. I know when the letter went out, everybody thought it was, you know, a scam or something or whatever. But you know, I know about the program. It's in Fairlawn, it's in Patterson, it's in a lot of towns. Fairlawn was the most recent one, and I talked to the elected officials over there, and they love it. They haven't got any complaints, and people are saving a lot of money.
Working.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, I know you probably have a lot of questions about the program, which I'm going to defer to Patrice with that. But it is, I just want to let you know, it is sanctioned by the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities and Public Service, and the bill will go right to public service. The deduction will come out of your public service bill. You don't have to, it's not another company that you got to deal with. You deal right with public service, who you know, you're dealing with now. Other than that, you know, there's, and Patrice will get into this, there's no panels on your roof. You don't have to do any of that, and she'll explain. But so I'm gonna turn it over to Patrice. Thank you so much for coming. We got a nice crowd. There's no disadvantage to this, so please listen up and sign up.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me all right back there? Yeah. Okay, perfect. I am so happy that you're all here tonight. Oh my goodness. Thank you for taking time out of your busy lives to be here with us tonight. And I'm so grateful to Mayor White and his council to have the ability to say, this is a state program and I need my residents to know so they can save money. And that's what we're really fortunate to have trusted messengers, our politicians that are letting residents know about the program, because it's new, it's confusing. And many people get confused rooftop solar and the people who knock on your door. That is not us. We will never knock on your door, and this is not residential rooftop solar. So I'm going to walk you through the whole program. I also heard that this is a tough crowd, and I'm going to ask you to please take it easy on me. I'm just a girl, and so I hope you can see back there, but I'm going to explain the program for you. The most important thing I want you to remember is this. Sorry? Okay. This is the image I want you to keep in your head. This is what community solar is. We rent the rooftop of huge commercial rooftop properties, and we enter into a lease agreement with the commercial property owner. We enter into that lease agreement for 20 years, which is why we're able to guarantee that you will have the savings for 20 years. This is kind of like a novel idea that only came to be in around 2018, 2019. You're hearing about it now because it's a slow process as it evolves, as it gets tested, as it gets approved. And the Board of Public Utilities is the one who started this program in New Jersey. They did a pilot program in 2019. And they chose my company, which is called Solar Landscape. I'm sorry, it's still confusing because it sounds like solar and ground mounts. We don't do that. This is exactly what community solar is. And they asked us to do this pilot program to see if it's a legitimate program that is going to help New Jersey residents save money. They did it for 3 years, a pilot program. The first year it went so well, they carried it over to the second year. The second year went so well, they decided to make it a permanent state program. In 2023, it became a permanent state program in New Jersey. Now, my company, Solar Landscape, we don't make the rules. The Board of Public Utilities makes the rules, and we have to follow them. But what we can tell you is that this is a wonderful program that's going to help you save some money off of our utility bills that have been going up. And again, just want you to remember that. No panels. This is a commercial property. This is actually our first property, commercial property in Perth Amboy. And this project was able to sent power to 1,200 homes. Now, you'll see how much we've expanded since the program became a permanent state program, and how we're picking up pace and we're building as many as we can to help New Jersey residents save money. Our former Governor Murphy was there at the ribbon cutting of this property in 2021 during the pilot program, and he came back. This picture is from the fall 2025, the winter 2025, where he came back and did a press event because he wanted to celebrate how well New Jersey's community solar program is going. So, as I mentioned, it's part of the Clean Energy Act of 2018. It became a permanent state program in 2023. We have oversight by the Board of Public Utilities, and these are our goals. The goal is to reduce your bill. That's the primary one, reduction in energy cost. The second thing is clean energy for the community. When you're talking about fossil fuel energy, we know how much that pollutes our air. When you talk about a community solar project that gets power from the sun, that's considered clean energy. So we're not adding to the carbon dioxide in the air like fossil fuels are. We are able to produce it clean from power from the sun. It's access for everybody. This is very important and has been very confusing for many. Many people will come up to me and say, I don't own a house, I can't enroll in the program. It is open to everybody. You can rent a house, you can rent an apartment, you can live in a senior building like my mom. If you have an electricity bill in your name, you are eligible. So this is for residential only, not commercial. We can only help residential households. And again, it's open condos, townhouse, doesn't matter. If you have a utility bill in your name, we're going to be able to help you save money. And we also do local workforce development, which we're very proud of because we're able to train young men and women in a green energy field. We actually pay them a stipend to get the training, they get a certificate at the end, and now they have something where they can apply jobs for in a new evolving field. So as I mentioned, the Board of Public Utilities, this is where you can do some research to make yourself comfortable, which you should. The Board of Public Utilities has all the information about New Jersey's Community Solar Program right on their website, so you can look that up. Also, the Department of Community Affairs has community solar listed as an additional energy assistance program. So that's the reason why I wanted to make sure you saw those two, is because you can also do your own research, but it's vetted by state programs. It's vetted by our state and the Board of Public Utilities, so everybody can rest assured this is not a scam. This is the headlines that we have all been reading, and our electricity costs are through the roof. I have to tell you, my team and I, we go all over New Jersey, and some senior communities are all electric. And with that, with having machines that they need, life-sustaining machines, their electricity bills are so high. And now they have to decide if they're going to buy food or if they're going to pay for their medication. It's been awful. So we spend a lot of time in all electric communities to make sure we get them enrolled in the program so they can start saving money, and we can help insulate them from the rising costs. So this is a great diagram to explain what community solar is. In the beginning, you saw our project on Prologis in Perth Amboy. So think about that project here. We build our solar panels on the top of that building, and then we enter a lease agreement with the commercial property owner. They're so happy because this is a novel idea. That's untapped real estate. Nobody ever thought of actually building something on the top of an existing commercial building. So we enter into a lease agreement with them for 20 years. Then we capture that energy from our solar panels and we send it back to PSE&G. Now PSE&G has this clean energy at a cheaper rate because we're able to produce clean energy for less money. Anyone who enrolls into the program, whether it's a house, apartment building, anyone who enrolls in the program is guaranteed to get discounts on their electricity bill. And those savings right now are guaranteed at 31% for low and moderate income households. And that's, those rules are by the Housing Authority. They're the ones who make the decision on the income limits. But if you have any qualifying programs, state programs, you automatically are eligible. And there's no cost to enroll. There's no cost to cancel. There's no additional fees whatsoever. There's nothing to install, no wires, no panels, and you're staying with PSE&G. That's a question that I get often. People have, unfortunately, been taken advantage of by third-party energy. And the idea was kind of a, possible light in the crazy utility prices that we're paying, where you get this third-party energy at less, you're paying less for that energy than you would to PSE&G. But it turns out those energy prices have gone up, and many people are stuck in a contract now with a third-party energy company, and they're paying more than what they were paying with PSE&G. We are not third-party energy. This is a state program, and we are able to have our credits go right on your utility bill, and I'm actually going to show you what that looks like because I put my utility bill in this presentation for you. Now, some people ask, where do the panels go, right? Again, not on residential homes, our commercial properties, all throughout the state. So we started with one, and we were able to power 1,200 homes. Now we're at 347 projects across the state of New Jersey. We are able to power 80,000 homes and counting because we build them, they fill up, we build them, they fill up. So the most important thing that I recommend everyone is to enroll as soon as possible when you are guaranteed a 31% discount on the solar credits that we put on your bill. So it's not off your entire bill. The energy that we produce for you in your home or your apartment, that energy is coming to you at a discounted rate. And that 31% discounted rate is going to show up on your PSE&G bill. And these are our projects all across the state of New Jersey. So we're able to service PSE&G customers, JCP and L customers, and ACE customers as well. Thank you, Mayor White, for sending out the letter to notify residents. We also are grateful to be in many other municipalities. We are in Patterson, which we were just with Mayor Andre Saya. We are with Mayor Laura. We were just there this week, having info sessions there as well. The most important thing is for residents to know that they're not going to be scammed. You're not going to be scammed in this. Remember, it costs you nothing to join. It costs you nothing to cancel. It's just guaranteed savings right on your PSE&G account. So I have some exciting news. Of these 181 residents who already enrolled from Mayor White's letter at that 31% discount rate, we know in 1 year's time they have saved $108,000. And that's based off of a $600 annual estimated savings. I save more because I use more power, so it's going to fluctuate depending on how much kilowatt hours you use. But those 181 residents who enrolled over 20 years will have saved $2.1 million. So the more people enroll, the more you're going to save, and I would love to see that for you. So this is a question I was talking with somebody about. Why am I just hearing about this now? Like, why is it taking so long? So the most important thing is consolidated billing. When the Board of Public Utilities rolled this out, you would get a bill from PSE&G, and then you would get a bill from my company, Solar Landscape. Those two bills together were going to be less than what you would have been paying PSE&G directly, but nobody likes two bills. It's confusing, it made people uncomfortable, so we had to lobby and get our utility companies to work with us, because we're actually helping the utility companies. In New Jersey, we don't make enough power for New Jersey residents. So we're buying energy from New York, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut right now, which is why our rates are going up. And when we produce this clean energy and send it back to the grid, we're able to help with the grid resiliency and also pass on those clean energy savings to you. Utility-wide access has changed as well. It used to be only if we had a project in Fairlawn, in Saddlebrook or Fairlawn, would we be able to serve those residents. And now it's utility-wide access. So we're going to send that energy to PSE&G. Their customers who enroll in the program get that at a discounted rate. Utility rate increases, we already know. It's highway robbery that we're all experiencing right now, and higher discounts. When we began the program, the discounts were 10%, and nobody really batted an eye at it. What's 10%? We were able to then roll out 15%. That started to get people's attention. 31%, everybody's paying attention, which is why there's a wait list to enroll. And that, if I can share with you the one downside that I see in this entire program, is there's a wait list. But if you qualify as a low and moderate income household, you will get priority status. We want to make sure that you're going to get on the project sooner, and 51% of the energy that we produce on our projects is reserved for low and moderate income households. And I want to share with you why that's important, because when the program began, the only communities that enrolled were wealthy communities. Why is that? Because they don't have to worry if it's a scam or it's going to bite them in the tail. They don't have to worry, they have the money, right? The rest of us don't. So this is a way to ensure that our residents that need the energy savings the most are going to get it. So 51% of that project is reserved for low and moderate income. We have the higher discounts now, 31%, and the educational outreach. This is what my team and I do. Kaki is my teammate back there who's incredible. We go all over to municipalities all across the state, and we hold info sessions, and we help residents enroll who wish to have support with enrollment as well. So here's some pictures from that outreach. It's municipal leaders, and it's also nonprofit organizations that we partner with as well. And we're able to, our faith-based organizations and our nonprofits that are doing really great work in the community. We love partnering with them, and we're able to make a donation to their organization as well for introducing community solar to their community. So I just met our new governor, Mikey Sherrill, last week, and today there was just an announcement of her expanding the community solar program. So she's expanding the capacity for community solar. If you wanted to take a look at the news today, because that just came out today, and also battery storage, which is wonderful. And we were here at a senior day event with Mayor White, and as I mentioned, we were with Mayor Laura. This is one of our properties in Woodbridge. This is Mayor McCormack, and so when a project went live in his town, we did the ribbon cutting with him, and he was there when we turned on the system. And now this is just the overview again. The resident benefits, we're going to help you save money. That's the resident benefit. Access for all, we can reach anybody. If you have a utility bill in your name, you are eligible. The only people that we're unable to assist is if they rent and their utilities are included in their rent. So that means the landlord would be getting the utility bill, not the the person who lives in the apartment. They're not able to enroll in the program, but they can encourage their landlord to enroll in the program, and hopefully they'll pass on the savings to the tenants. 51% of the energy generated is going to low and moderate income households, and guaranteed discounts, guaranteed for 20 years right on your PSE&G bill. There's no hidden costs. It costs you nothing to join, it costs you nothing to cancel. There is no credit check, no credit cards required, nothing like that. Even in the portion to say that, to check the box if you're low and moderate income, it's self-attestation. And we are required to do that by the Board of Public Utilities to make sure that the residents that need the savings the most are going to get them, but it's self-attestation. You don't need to provide any documents to prove that you're low or moderate income. And again, we work with faith-based organizations and nonprofits and help them get the message out into the community and save money. This is the landing page, if you haven't already gone on, from the letter that Mayor White sent out. There was a QR code. If you want to learn more information or enroll, you would go to joinsolar.com/Saddlebrook. It's going to take you to this page. We actually had on here today's information session info for residents in case they wanted to come out and ask questions. And the very first thing you're going to do is put in your zip code. And the zip code, the next thing it's going to ask you, who is your utility provider? And then it's very simple because it's actually 5 things. What we're going to need is your name, number, telephone, name, address, telephone number, email, and your 10-digit PSE&G account number. That's it. That's all we need. It needs to be the same. Your name on the bill has to be the same when you enroll as it is on the bill, because sometimes it's a spouse, it's in a different name, so we want to make sure that PSE&G doesn't kick it back and delay the process for you. Just we want to make sure that it's exactly as it is on your utility bill. You're entering that 10-digit account number, and then you're going to complete that self-attestation for low and moderate income, or skip it, and then you review and sign the agreement. Now, that puts you on a wait list, and as soon as a spot opens for you, we will email you and let you know that your project is going live and when the expected date is for you to begin seeing those credits right on your utility bill. So this again is the housing and urban development requirements for what low and moderate income looks like. If it's 2-person, if you make less than $83,000 a year, then you're automatically eligible. But also, we also have qualifying state programs that make you eligible. If you're on LIHEAP, if you are on SNAP, if you have Social Security Disability Insurance, Medicaid, those are all qualifying programs. Just check yes. You check yes, we get you prioritized on a project and we get you on sooner. Now, this is crazy. I enrolled in the program. I worked for Solar Landscape now for 2 years, and I enrolled in the program, and I wanted to include my bill in the presentation because I want people to see exactly what it's going to look like on your bill. This happened to be my December bill, and I have to tell you, I was sticker shock, as all of us are, because the rates are going so high. Just for my electricity, it's $542 for December. It was $542. Because I'm enrolled in the program, that's the next page. So it's going to be on page 4 or 5 on your electricity bill. The next page is going to be my community solar status page, and then it shows you the breakdown of how much money how much was credited on my bill. $160 were credited on my bill. So I was very happy, and I'm continuing to be happy because, as I mentioned to someone here, my mom lives in a senior citizen building. She's 1 person and doesn't use a lot of electricity. She saves about $20 to $40 a month. So in the summer, when she's using more air conditioning, she has a little bit of a higher bill, we're able to offset some of that. Even when it's $20, that's her $20, that's your $20. So the alternative is, you're paying that money to PSE&G because you have that bill and you have to pay it. Or you enroll in the program and we get to help offset some of that for you and keep some of your money in your pocket instead of sending it to PSE&G. So anyone, this is also very important, anyone who has questions, we are a New Jersey-based organization out of Asbury Park. So our whole team is here in New Jersey. We have a dedicated call line. My team members are going to answer your calls. We have a telephone number and an email. We're always there to support you with your questions or enrollment issues, and we'll walk you through it and we'll get you started on the program. Once you enroll in the program, there's a login customer portal where you'll be able to log in and you'll see the status of where you are and when your project is going to go live. Gives you a little bit more information. And that's it for me. My name is Patrice Lenowitz, and I'm here for questions, and I know you're gonna be nice to me. Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question regarding the income.
Yes,
So I know that you had 31% for low, moderate income.
yes.
Then I saw in small print 20% for non-LMI.
Okay, good. That's a great question, and forgive me, that's included in here, and I wanted to make sure that you understood. Mayor White got the letter out for you in time. You're locked in at that 31%. The Board of Public Utilities, things are changing. Now, non-low and moderate income households are going to save 20%, not 31%. However, you're locked in at that 31% because Mayor White got the letter out to you in time. So thank you for pointing that out. I want to keep that in there because I want people to be aware of what's coming. So the sooner you get enrolled, the sooner you're going to get that 31%. Let me run back here. Okay, I'll try and repeat it.
Summertime, when everybody's using the air conditioning, will that be affected by this program, like in the sense that if the utility company can lower it, the same way?
So that's a good question. She was mentioning that sometimes in the summertime when the PSE&G is at capacity and they ask you to lower your consumption, the reason why they're doing that is because the grid is at capacity and they need help and they're struggling. What we do is we're providing energy to the grid. So we're helping with the grid resiliency, so that's not going to affect you at all. We're actually helping to strengthen it. You're still a PSE&G customer.
So it wouldn't affect.
Well, you're still a PSE&G customer, so it would be the same. It would be the same. So if the power outage happens, nothing changes for you. You're going to have to wait until the power gets turned back on. Once your power gets turned back on, we're continuing to add those credits onto your bill. So that doesn't change. Thank you. You can be on a budget. Bill budgets you are eligible even if you're on a bill budget with PSE&G. Thank you for bringing that up. That's a great question. Yes.
Okay, a couple questions. While we're talking about the power outages, if we get to this program, using the solar panels and getting into the program, is there an increased risk of power outages and power surges, or is it like stable power supply? Like, and also like, let's say, we have like a stretch of weather where it's cloudy, it's raining, or snowing. Like, how would that work? Also, just are we going to be able to access this presentation, like to look at it on our own time, like to send out or we can send it to the town? I know it's also being filmed for the Cyber TV station and YouTube as well, but I wonder if we can get the presentation.
Sure. Thank you. That was a three-parter. I'll get to you, sir.
I don't need a microphone.
Oh, okay. I'll get to you in just 1 second. I'm going to answer his question. So the first one was the energy power surges. That was the first question.
Power outages.
Power outages. So where community solar is able to help support our grid, that's very important. That's the reason why we get state and federal incentives for clean energy, because we're able to help support the grid. Our grid is in trouble, and again, we don't make enough power for New Jersey. So this is something that's going to help support the grid resiliency to help hopefully reduce those issues with power surges. And the second question.
With the weather.
So the weather is this is really important, and I apologize because I didn't mention it. Because we are capturing the energy from the sun, that's where we get our energy from, the sun. When it is lower producing months like the winter, we're not producing as much power for you as we would in the sunnier months, spring, summer, fall, where we're producing a lot of power. Here's the wonderful thing. The reason why I saved $160 on my bill that month was because of bill credits I received. So in the summertime, when we're making more energy than what you're using in your apartment or home, we are keeping those credits on your bill for you to roll over in the winter months. That way you're always seeing some kind of savings every month.
But the solar panels will work and
Yes.
So
So we have a
saved
whole
up
crew
sun.
to make sure that those panels are clear. So they are out there with their equipment and their brooms. When we had all this snow, they were out there every day cleaning those panels because we needed to continue to operate and provide savings.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then the third question is the PowerPoint presentation. Absolutely. Mayor White, I guess I could send it to you, and I don't know, and then maybe, or you, if you want to leave your name with me afterwards, I can even email it to you as well. Thank you. And this gentleman in the back
So my
has,
question is, it costs the consumers absolutely nothing,
that's correct.
and who pays for all of the equipment and the maintenance and all of that? That comes out of what you produce?
So that's a great question. Yes, it costs nothing for residents, and we get our money through state and federal clean energy incentives and tax credits. So we actually get more tax credits because this is clean energy and this is something that our state is supporting. We get more tax credits than we are able to use, so we actually sell them. We sell them to Walmart, we sell them to Hershey's, and then that money we're able to now build our next project with.
And my second part of the question is,
Yes.
are you nonprofit, or you guys are doing this for a big profit?
This is a for-profit business, and I have to tell you, I ran a nonprofit, by the way. So I was in the nonprofit field for 13 years. I ran a domestic violence organization, so I love our nonprofits. They do great work. This is a for-profit company, but we started with 6 people. That's how Solar Landscape began, with 6 people, and now we employ 400 people in the state of New Jersey. So we are providing jobs and we're providing savings. And we're also reducing the dirty energy from the air and providing clean energy. Yes?
So does the profit come before you reimburse us with the percentage of discount?
Does the profit come? Actually, it takes us 7 years to pay off a project. It takes 7 years for us to actually pay off
So
what it
it
costs.
doesn't go on grid until those 7 years are up?
So we have up 343 projects right now in operation. So those are already producing energy and sending it back to the grid. And we're also building a bunch of projects right now that are going to be turned on at a later date this year. Yes, thank you. Yes,
Your third screen on your slideshow, I believe, had a couple partners logo on there.
yes.
Is that is this available through the Couple Partners program? Are you looking on for information if you go on the Couple Partners website? Or you gotta go to you directly on the,
You would have to go to us directly,
But
yes.
you're funneled through the payments through the BPU. That's how you're getting paid.
We get paid by state and federal incentives. That's how Solar Landscape makes money.
Right.
Through the incentives, not the Board of Public Utilities.
Okay.
The Board of Public Utilities makes the rules.
Okay.
They tell us what we can and we can't do,
Mhm.
and we have to follow by their rules. So we're regulated, which is the most important thing that people are concerned with. Is this a regulated program? Yes. Thank you. Yes, sir. I'll come right back to you.
2 questions. How long is the wait list period? And the other one was when you were talking about how much income, you said something about 2 people. What if you have more than 2 people earning income in your home? How does that work?
So I'll put that slide back up. This is Bergen County, HUD makes these income requirements for qualifying programs in the state. You know, if you were participating in any programs in the state. I believe even Katya can pull that up for you when you talk to her. But this is, if you have 4 people in a home, you would need to make $104,000 or less. But this is what, when you go onto our website, I'm sorry, when you go onto our website, you'll be able to see that as well, and it'll tell you if you're eligible for the program. Yes?
I have a follow-up on that. My daughter gets Medicaid, she doesn't work.
Medicaid makes her eligible, automatically eligible.
Her income doesn't.
Automatically eligible. Yes, and that's really important. We want to make sure that we're able to help the people who need to save it the most. Yes.
So let's say you have a household of 4 people, only one person in the house has Medicaid. That you're saying that they're automatically eligible,
Correct.
just to clarify?
The household, correct.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm gonna come to you now.
I don't need the microphone, I have a
Okay.
big mouth. So I just have, I think this is a great program. It sounds like a great program for us to save money because it's so expensive. But I have one question. So there's no charge to enroll and there's no charge to leave.
Correct.
It is a great program. Why would I want to leave, for example? Why would you even put that in there? Like,
So if you move,
oh,
some
okay.
people ask, you know, well, if I move, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna get penalized if I cancel? It's exactly the way with PSE&G, when you move, you would let PSE&G know, you could let us know. If you're moving in the state of New Jersey, we're gonna do our best to get you on a project wherever you're going. So if you're at JCP&L, if you move down to ACE, we'll try to get you on one of our projects down there.
Clear.
And just so you know, PSE&G right now is the highest discount at 31%, JCP&L 20%, and ACE, they do. I won't repeat that word, but they do. And ACE is 15%. So PSE&G, we're able to help residents save the most money. Yes, sir?
Can you put your public service bill slide on it?
Sure. You want to see how much energy I use for the month? Those rotten kids, leaving all the lights on. I don't understand that. Like, why? You know what? Once they have their own bill, they'll understand it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Where's my bill? Did I pass it? Oh, I'm sorry.
There we
Must have just gone over it.
You
You want, I passed my bill?
Yeah.
No, that's just the information of the Board of Public Utilities and the Department of Community Affairs. And then,
Further up than that.
yeah, I think it was towards the end, I showed it. My apologies. I went right over because we were at the end. There we go. Okay, so,
Now,
yes.
you say your electric bill is $542
For that month
per
of
month,
December.
right?
For
In
1 month.
December.
Yeah,
So your house, personal question. here,
Yes.
You have electric heat?
I have a 1950s house that has drafts. I need replacement of windows. It's an old house and I use a lot of energy because of that. So when I have the money, I will replace the windows and help insulate some of that energy.
You have a
Yes,
gas heat, right?
yes,
And you do have a $542 electric bill
correct.
in
On
December.
top of gas, that's right.
So you get $160 for
Credit, I
that
got
December credit?
Correct, for that month. For December, I saved $160. I think this month I saved $60. It's gonna fluctuate. This was savings, and it's based off of the kilowatt hours that we use. And do you remember I mentioned the carryover? Right on your bill, you're gonna see how many kilowatts that you used. Then it's gonna, if we make enough energy for you, then you get that 31%. If we make more energy than what you consume in your home or your apartment, we're gonna carry it over. So for the months that we're not producing enough energy, like December. December we weren't producing, that's the darkest month of the year. So I was able to save money still because they were able to carry over those credits from the summer months for me.
Also, there's the Christmas lights and everything.
It's 31% of the energy that we produce for you. So it's not the whole bill. It's 31% of the energy that we produce for you, right? That's right, yes.
So, that $542 that's in your bill, right?
Yes.
Was that what your bill was before the credits were applied?
Correct.
All right, and
And then when the credits were applied,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't bring the next page of the total bill, but it was off of that $500.
are we guaranteed to get accepted to the program? Are we?
You are already eligible. If you have a utility bill.
But are we guaranteed, is it guaranteed 31% discount?
Correct.
There's no variation based on income?
Correct.
Now, one question is that, you mentioned about the income levels, right? So what does it constitute to consider as income? What is the social security income or the state income tax?
So I'll go back to that slide. We have to follow the guidelines from the Housing Authority and what they're
So they
required.
cross-check. Once you apply, the housing authority will cross-check in the background.
Well, we want to make sure that you check the box for low and moderate income if you are low and moderate income or you participate in any of these qualifying programs. We want to make sure that you check that box.
So in other words, if your income is above this level, you are not qualified for this program because this
No, you're
program.
still qualified for it, you just are not prioritized. So we're able to prioritize, we treat our low and moderate income households
First.
first. They're gonna get on the project first, before everybody else. Everybody's gonna get on, it's just gonna be a longer wait. Now, somebody asked me, forgive me, I just wanna mention, somebody asked me how long was the wait. Right now, if you enroll, I know somebody already in Saddlebrook got placed on a project from when Mayor White's letter came out, but they're telling us, they're telling my team, summertime. Summertime is when it's going to click for you. It might be sooner. But anyone else who doesn't qualify as low or moderate income, we are going to get you on a program, but it's going to be 2027.
That will be prioritized based on income.
Correct.
If it is 90,000.
Or a qualifying program. Yes.
So those programs are also the part of this? Or
Those
it's just
programs are
standalone?
what makes somebody eligible to be listed as low or moderate income. That's the guidelines from the Housing Authority. And they let us know. This is from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. They're the ones who make these requirements for Bergen County. So this is what you would look at when you're enrolling and say, do I qualify for low and moderate income? You'll take a look. If yes, you check the box, we get you on the project
And
sooner.
if you don't, then you don't.
And if you don't check the box, you're still getting on a project, you're just gonna wait a little longer, 2027. I think it's gonna be early 2027 when you'll be placed on a project. Yes, sir?
What proof they need for low and moderate income?
No proof, it's self-attestation. There's no proof needed. So you don't need to provide anything, you're just gonna, it's kind of like the honor system. I participate in this program, you're checking the box.
I thought there was a cross-check behind it.
Nope, there's no charge check behind. Yes, sir?
Yes, so two people, it's 83,400, right?
Yes,
If you exceed that, are you still gonna get the 31%? You're just
Correct.
gonna wait longer to get on?
correct. Right now, because Mayor White was able to get the letter out to you, we are able to lock you in at that 31%. Going forward, which is why it was in the slide, anyone who's not an LMI household, that's low and moderate income, is going to get in the program, but their savings are going to be 20%. So it is going down for non-low and moderate income, but Saddlebrook residents are locked in because of Mayor White.
For the occupancy of the household, what happens like if you have kids that are away in college, it's still, the address is still there, so it counts as four.
Yeah.
It counts as four?
Yeah.
Even if they're living away?
You just, remember, it's self-attestation. So you know what you have, and if you think that you're close, then check low and moderate income.
Or the driver license, if the kids have the driver licenses with the Saddlebrook address, probably their household.
But we don't even need, we're not checking that. We're not checking that. The Board of Public Utilities actually just wants to make sure that 51% of the energy is going to the households that need it. Yes, ma'am.
A question, why would one person be like 73,000 and two people would only be?
Yeah.
83,000 and three people 90,000.
Why would two people be like 100?
I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, that's HUD. They make the guidelines for us. Yes,
કશું કશી લેવા દે હોય તો આ તો જુદી લિસ્ટ વસ્તુ છે ને
Correct.
એને કશી લેવા દે
So we're not in it, we're not embedded in it.
આ તો પીએ છે
Yeah, no. I mean,
Something that you don't want.
when we began, he's asking on the Board of Public Utilities if like we're on the board and we're able to contribute. When they did the pilot program, they had to work with us to build the program out. And then they made the determinations of what the regulations would be based off of the success of those pilot programs. And just so you know, we are not the only community solar company in the state of New Jersey. We're just the biggest. 80% of the projects in New Jersey are ours, as well as 2025, I believe 26 community solar projects went live, and of those 26, 25 of them were ours. So we are a trusted leader, again, based in New Jersey, and we just want to help you save money, and that's what I get to do. Yes?
The building height sometimes can seem really on heights of buildings. So then you come along and you want to put your solar panels on. You limited by the height.
I'm actually not sure about that answer to that question. He's asking, are there... Yeah.
They were on an angle, and the other ones are flat.
Oh, yeah, I think it was just for the diagram.
Like that one there?
Yeah, that's just for the diagram, so you can actually see. So it actually, our project looks just like that. Just like that. Yeah. Right. So, I mean, we have a whole team that works with them, and we have to follow the rules of the town, and but so far, they're all flat. Correct. Yes. Well, I'm going to answer one more question, and then I'm staying here. My colleague Katya is in the back, and we're here to help you with any questions or enrollment. I'll take your last question.
So the income that's the maximum income, they're low moderate, 70,000.
Correct. And or if you participate in any of the qualifying programs.
Just to make sure, to clarify, to make sure everybody hears this, here who is watching the TV station. Everybody in Saddlebrook is locked in at 31%. There's no 20% for Saddlebrook residents.
Correct.
No matter the
And I have to tell you, that could change. You enroll now, we're going to get you on the 31% project. If you wait a year from now, the projects may be 20%. So the most important thing is when I go out and I talk about this, I tell everybody, set it and forget it. Set it and forget it. It costs you nothing. There's no way you can be harmed. The only thing that you will get is a benefit of reducing what you owe on your electricity bill, and that's guaranteed for 20 years. So I'm going to take one more question, and then we're going to stay afterwards. You have a question? Okay, I'm going to take this lady. Yes.
I just wanted to know, I see that you're
Talking about the
building on
rent, the roof of the
Correct.
school.
Are you
Talking about the rent, the roof of the school. Like, could they help in with
No, so that's a good question. The question was, she sees that we're building on these commercial properties. Are we going to need to build our own going forward? No, these are already existing warehouses like Prologis, Public Storage. They're already existing, and they're all over the state. Prologis has 6,000 projects. We only have 347 projects right now. So there's so much growth and capacity, a lot of space for us to begin building more projects and helping more people
So you
save.
pay the newspaper monthly.
Correct. And they love us for that.
And you get reimbursed from the state program.
Correct. That's right.
Whatever you produce, 31% of that
Goes
production.
to the residents. It goes to the resident savings.
It's not the 31% of the bill amount.
31% of the energy we produce for you.
That is being distributed among the other residents.
Correct. Yes. Can I talk to you? Can I talk afterwards? Okay, everybody, I'm gonna stay. I just want to say thank you to Mayor White. Thank you to the ladies of the Senior Center for inviting us down to White. I'm gonna stay here as well as Kathy in the back. If you have any help with enrollment, we're gonna help you enroll. Thank you so much, everybody. Still participate in the program. So the answer is complicated because for a moment there, PSE&G said yes. If you have a utility bill of $75 or higher, you would be able to receive community solar credits. They just stopped it, but we're still fighting to get it back on. Because for a lot of people who own solar panels on their home, sometimes the solar company has disappeared and they're no longer producing energy, so they have a high bill or they're broken and they're not able, and so this is a way to help them. So right now, no, but it was for a moment and we're gonna try and fight to get that back for you. So you could enroll, but what happens is PSENG is gonna kick it out. Yes.